Hi all, my name is Mahesh Kumar Vaka. In this session, we are going to talk about method overloading and method overriding in Java. In our previous sessions, we have covered the object-oriented programming concepts, and one of the key features is polymorphism. And there are two types of polymorphism. One is compile time polymorphism, the second one is the runtime polymorphism. For implementing compile time polymorphism, we use method overloading, and for runtime polymorphism, we use method overriding. When I'm saying method overloading, we are trying to define the same method or a functionality with a different set of parameters. I will tell that through an example which makes things more clear. Let us say I'm working for a hotel management application, and in that I am considering room allotment as a class. So let us say I have one person going to join my hotel, and in that case I can give the single room. If two persons are going to be there, I'm going to give double room. And if more than two persons are there, I'm going to give triple room. Let us say that's the case. So here what I have to do is I just have to allot the room, right? So it depends on the number of persons that come into the hotel. So I'm considering same room allotment but having different types of parameters, or say different number of parameters. So here I am saying string person, it takes only one person as its parameter. In the same room is going to take two persons, and it's going to take more than one person. Here the dotted line represents variable arguments, meaning more than two persons. If in that case I consider this, you'll see this dotted lines, three dotted lines, it represents var args or variable arguments in Java. Okay, so here I have considered the room allotment, but that is done based on the number of persons that come in. So here I have done room allotment, and in that case let us say I'm going to uh, create an object saying like method overloading, and I'm going to give the room type. So sorry, let's take it as room only, and we will try to print it like what will be the output of this. Because here only one person is provided for this room, it will give a single room. In the second case we are giving two persons, so that's why it will take the double room. Okay, so let's try to run and execute it. All right, so here we see single room and double room as the output. So in case of one particular person we see the single room. If we are giving two persons we are saying double room. All right, so that is an example of method overloading. So what happens here is the compiler will identify the method signatures of the class. So here my class is room allotment. In this, the compiler is going to identify the signatures. When I'm saying signature, method signature will have the room name and the type of parameters or the number of parameters or the sequence of parameters in which it is given. So here room and string person is one signature, and room and string person 1 and string person 2, this is another signature. So the method signatures are varying here. So that's why compiler is allowing this type of method implementations. So that's why this is all about method overloading. So it depends on the type of parameters and the number of parameters. We'll go ahead for method overriding. This is pretty much simple, and it just needs to understand about the inheritance. So it is a type of runtime polymorphism. This is considered runtime because which method to select is decided at the runtime only. Here in this process we can have one method from the parent class to be overridden in a different way by the child class. Let us say I have given the room type as another class. So default I'm going to give it as non-AC, right? So in my main class, which I'm using as the child class, I'm going to extend this room type, and I have implemented it as AC, because in the parent class it is non-AC, right? I have changed it to AC in my child class. So right now I'm going to create the object of main and trying to print the allotted room type. So we'll see what will be the output of this one, right? So here it's saying room type is AC because the actual method from the parent class is overridden here. So that's why we are going to get it as AC. So this is a simple implementation of method overriding. What happened here? We just used the concept of inheritance, and we have taken the parent class and overrided the method within it with our own implementation. That's how the method overriding is implemented. It looks simple, but there are many scenarios and rules wherein we will face the actual difficulty in comparing things. So I'll also go through a set of interview questions which seem simple but are tricky. Let's go through that as well. So here I have given one question here as class room allotment, and here I have given string room with string person, and here I am taking void room and I am giving a print statement, the same single room. So the interviewer will ask, will this be accepted as part of method overloading, right? Let's just try it out. We will just give this extra void method, and we will put it in the room allotment. We'll just have this here. All right. So here we see a signature related problem. Here it's saying duplicate method room string in type room allotment. Here the compiler is pushing us back, saying it's not going to be accepted because the method signature, which I told previously, it's going to be the method name and the type of parameter or the parameters. Here I'm just having only one parameter, so that's why it's saying room of string person is already there. Forget about the return type here. A compiler is not going to worry about the return type. It's only going to check about the method signature. So here room of string person, that cannot be overloaded like this. So this is not possible. That's how the interviewer will try to confuse us. And we have another question here. What will be the output of the below code? Let's say I'm going to have a method overloading as a class, and in that I have got two methods. Because in the previous statement I have told that in the method overloading the we can have different methods with the same name but vary with the parameters. That is the number of parameters or the type of parameters or the different sequence of parameters, right? So that's why I have given or I have named a method add, and in that I'm going to take integer a and long b, and the same method overloaded as long a and int b. So this is how I have declared my methods. So the interviewer will ask, if I try to create a method of the if I try to create an object of this class and try to use this add and give 10 and 10 as the parameters. So he will ask what will be the output of this program. So let's just try it out. To put the same code here, already there is showing the compiler is pushing us back. It's saying the method add int long is ambiguous. This because here there is a problem. The compiler is struggling to understand which one to take, because here we have given parameters as int and long, and the second one with long and int, and 10 and 10, they can be treated as int or they can be treated as long also, because there is a possibility that these fit into both of these methods. That's why compiler is not able to understand which one to pick out of it. That's why this is not possible. This will be a compile time error. Okay. Similarly, if I try to let us say I'm going to remove this and just put one. All right. Okay. Now there is no problem with the first one. It will print the statement, right? So here there is another question wherein I am trying to do the method overriding. Okay. So that's why I used the interview question as the parent and tried to extend it. So here what I am trying to do is I am trying to override this one. Okay. When I'm trying to override this particular method, what is happening? There is already another red mark here. What it is saying, cannot reduce the visibility of the inherited method from interview question. So it's saying that we cannot change the visibility. What is the problem with the visibility here? Meaning in our previous access modifiers topic, we have told that public, private, protected, and default related access modifiers. Here, what's the problem is we are trying to change the visibility. So here in the actual parent class, it is having the access modifier as default. But here what we are trying to do, we are trying to give it as private, which is maybe you can consider it this way. Public is greater than protected, and protected is greater than default, and default is greater than private, right? So here what is our actual method having? It's having it as default. Default is the access modifier here. But what we are trying to give here, private, meaning we are trying to reduce the visibility of that method. That's why it's not accepted. Let's say if I am trying to give it as anything higher than default, or default itself will be fine. So let us say I'm going to give it as public, then there will not be an error. Okay, so that's how the method overriding and overloading related rules are there. I just told only few of those. There are a lot of such interview questions which are tricky. Try to practice on this and go with multiple cases. And also there will be questions like whether static methods can be overloaded or final methods can be overridden, things like that. There will be many scenarios. You just got to practice those things and understand what or how compiler is treating things and whether there are any problems or not. That's all for this session. Try to practice more on this and just give different scenarios and understand things better. Have a good day. Bye bye.